Okay, people, before we get started here, attention. You are going to have to YouTube search Logan running with a space in between all caps when I'm gone. When you come over here and you see the big red sash, you'll have to search for me up here again because I can't make the channel yet. So here in a minute, when I'm wiped out again, you'll just simply Google search my original Logan running, and I'll be back. But maybe if I have enough time, I'll make a video about that later on tonight. I wanted to do this first though because you know, I have to admit, I love a good internet story. Probably as much as the next guy that won't admit it. But I think we all have something in common, and curiosity usually hurts the cat pretty bad. Here we go. This is a story that I love this story. And I'm sure a lot of people out there love this story so much that they'll never be able to let it go. But who cares? Let's just get to the truth about this. The story is, of course, 20-year airman C5A Cargo tells his story in Antarctica of flying over a giant hole in the ice that reveals a massive installation military base under the ice, and that the giant hole is the access or whatever. I believe this story, or I believe that this story could be true until I heard the actual interview, which totally destroys the whole thing. This story is told to Linda Moulton Howe, the leak project, you know, of her time, being that she knows it's all bull, but agrees all the same because it makes for good views. That there's no way this 20-something kid, here we go.
That report that's been going on the internet of that British documentary team that was down there in Antarctica, something that was found.
No way this 25, maybe at the most, kid was went into the military in 1970 and then retired in 1990s. No, this is another punk kid, lying, fraud, hoax, or criminal, probably. Just like all the rest of them on YouTube. I mean, you could have picked any one of this trash and had them call Linda Moulton Howe and have them do this fraud interview, and it'd be the exact same thing. I invite you to come listen to this punk kid try to tell you that, you know, he'd have to be over 70 at this point, and there's no way to hide that in his voice, let alone there's no indication that this punk kid has ever been in the military. For this entire interview, there's no indication that this kid was ever an airman in the military, period. So the story of the giant hole, this is the root story. I looked it up. This is where all the BS comes from, and the Photoshop pictures and blah, 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 blah. Brian, airman, 20-something liar. Check it out yourself. I'll leave the link to come listen to any one of, you know, you take your pick, any one of this YouTube lying trash calls Linda Moulton Howe and tells her a big whopper. And of course, she listens intensely and acts like she cares. All part of the show, YouTube. Logan out.